Alright, ComicHorder410 200 sub contest. First of all, I want to say congratulations, man. Well deserved. Only 200 subs? Thought you had more than that. Just kidding. Honestly, that's great. You should have more than 200 subs. Everybody should be subscribed to you. Some great videos, lots of good information, and from all the trade videos and all that have gone up from people who've done trades with you, man, you seem like a cool guy. Definitely great in like all the comments you leave on my videos and the responses to the comments that I make. Seem like a cool dude. You got a great collection of books. I love seeing all your videos, and like I said, lots of information and inspiration for things to find. So once again, 200 plus subs, man. Congratulations. Appreciate the contest you got going. I thought I'd do a little video here. It says you're looking for favorite characters, covers, writers, and artists. Well, we'll start favorite covers, since I already have some of these pulled out. Just some random covers here that I think are pretty awesome. I've got this Avengers vs. X-Men #0 1 in 50 variant edition. The painted cover of the Phoenix. Web of Spider-Man #1. This is a great Charles Vest cover. Once again, it's another painted cover. Love the painted covers. Also have this Commandy #1, which I think is a great Jack Kirby cover. Very definitely captures that post-apocalyptic feel. The ruined Statue of Liberty in New York behind it. This is a great cover, Silver Age, Tales to Astonish #98. It's that all blue tone cover with the Submariner. Love that cover by Warner Roth. Also, this cover here, it's one of my favorite covers from the 90s. It's X Factor #70, which is a Mike Mignola cover. And, you know, he always does a great job. I love seeing him do the superheroes. It's just his style is so different. And I've also got Rye #0, which I think is just a great simple cover from the 90s. Love these old Dell and Gold Key painted covers. This is Turok Son of Stone. It's one of my favorite covers. There are lots of other covers I could pull out. Got some others here, you know, this X-Men cover by Paul Smith. These were all in another video recently. It's Iron Man 150 with Dr. Doom and Iron Man on the cover. Now we'll move on to the next category, which I believe was favorite characters. Personally, my favorite characters, well, it's hard for me to break down #1 favorite of anything. I would have to say, for like favorite heroes, definitely Wolverine for Marvel, Batman for DC. Also like Silver Surfer and Martian Manhunter. I think those are two great characters that have never really been, their potential have never really been reached. far as like females, Storm, and I like Storm a lot. She's a great character, very complex. I like what they've done with her. I like the old Rogue before they fixed her powers, back when she couldn't touch anybody. I thought that was very unique, and just the fact that she couldn't feel the touch of a person any longer without hurting them gave a depth to that character. I miss that. Also, one of my favorite female characters is Dawn by Joseph Michael Linsner. She's the goddess. Just a great representation. His art is phenomenal. The way he draws her and paints her, she looks like a real woman. Also like Wonder Woman, of course. She's the archetypal female hero. Another character that I think they never really get right. There have been times where they've come close, but there's so much more potential, I think, in Wonder Woman. Favorite villains would be Darkseid. I mean, you can go toe-to-toe with Superman. He's also incredibly smart, just super powerful. Just I think he's one of the all-around, all-time great villains. Got to be top 5 villains of all time. Also, Dr. Doom. He's the king of a country where he treats his own people very well, but he still wants to take over the world. He's a villain in everybody else's mind but his own. His way of thinking, he's right. Those are the kind of complex villains I usually gravitate toward. Magneto is another one. Magneto, again, it's so easy to see his point of view. Being Jewish during World War II and living through prison camps, Nazi prison camps. You can kind of understand his point of view as a mutant. He sees mutants being oppressed and hated, and he can kind of see, the things that led up to World War II kind of happening again towards mutants, and it's kind of hard not to empathize with him and feel for him. And those are probably my 3 top villains. Just the ones that are complex are the ones I gravitate to normally. And those 3 would probably be my top 3. As far as writers go, I'm pretty picky, but at the same time I enjoy stories by a lot of different people. But I'm picky on, there are certain writers that have produced stories that have a kind of a deeper feeling, something other than just entertainment. Which is great, and your average comic should be that, and the story should be well written and entertaining, but sometimes things go a little deeper, and I think one of the best writers of that was Frank Miller. I'm sure everybody has read The Dark Knight Returns. I've got the trade here. Excellent story, and there's so much more to it than just it being a story about Batman when he's older, and there are social commentaries and things like that you can pick up on. Another favorite writer, and unfortunately I don't think he does that much in comics anymore. I believe he's come back recently to do another Sandman. It's Neil Gaiman, and the Sandman series through the 90s they're all excellent reads. I have a few of the trade paperbacks and some single issues, and they're all excellent. You can pick up any of the trades and read them. They pretty much, the story arcs are pretty much contained, and it's just some of the best writing ever in comics. You can see why he won, what was it, the Nebula Award, or it was a science fiction award, and he won for Writer of the Year, and then they immediately turned around, changed the rules, and banned comics from being nominated again. Just an excellent writer all around. Another great writer I'm sure everybody's familiar with, one of my favorites, is Chris Claremont. Love his run on X-Men. Long time writer, did Days of Future Past, Phoenix storyline, things like that. Those are all great stories, great X-Men stories, great comic stories all around. A guy I was introduced to comics in the 90s, and he has gone on to become a very prolific writer. I think one of the top writers still today is Mark Waid. His miniseries Kingdom Come, and I believe it was Marvels. Those two, especially Kingdom Come, really showed me what a good writer Mark Waid was. And if anybody hasn't read this, which I find hard to believe, pick this up in trade, single issues, however you can find it. It's great. It's a different take on the DC heroes. Again, you know, you'll pick up on social commentary and some deeper themes and all in this storyline. And probably, I don't read a lot of current comics, but probably my favorite writer right now would have to be Robert Kirkman. Love the Walking Dead series. I picked them up in trades, and you know, excellent story, great characterization. Yeah, some of the early issues you can see where he was kind of rushing things, and some of the later issues you can see where it kind of gets drawn out a little too much, I believe. But overall, some excellent writing. It's gone on to become one of the best TV shows ever, I think, and I think it really will go down as one of the best comics ever. And there are many others. There are a lot of good writers. Kurt Busiek, Grant Morrison, Greg Rucka. I don't know how everybody else felt about Final Crisis. I wasn't really reading comics at the time. Didn't pick up any of the single issues of storyline, but I picked up the trade from Final Crisis. It's mostly written by Grant Morrison, and that was for a company-wide crossover. I thought that was an excellent crossover. Now on to favorite artists. Again, favorite artists are hard for me to pick. I like so many different artists, varied styles, and I picked a random few. Of course, I have to pick, and it's not to jump on the bandwagon and fit in with everybody else, but probably all-time favorite artist, same as a lot of people, especially a lot of comic fans. Jack Kirby. I mean, when he was in his prime, I mean, you couldn't beat Jack Kirby's art, and he defined comic art. He originated action panels. You know, he's the first person that made the characters feel like they were gonna jump off the page at you. And yeah, sometimes his proportions aren't technically right, but they look correct on the page. Here, I think, is a great example of Kirby's art. Even when there's not action, you still get that sense of action, and it's not just because the action lines, the swoosh. It's that poised feel you see that Thor's got there. He's been left with no power on Earth. Kirby, just all around, all-time greatest artist, probably. Definitely my favorite. Another great artist and classic, one of my favorites, one of probably everybody's favorites. Unfortunately, I don't have any real good examples of his art. An example, Spider-Man, but Steve Ditko. I have an issue here, Stalker, I think number 3. I thought this was a great cover by Ditko, and issue number 2 of Shade the Changing Man. And I think, to me in here, at least with the costume, I think there's a little Kirby inspiration. It just looks like a Kirby design costume. But the rest of the art's clearly Ditko. His figures look so much different than everyone else's. I believe that's why he became so famous for Spider-Man. He actually looked like a teenage guy in a costume who was very flexible and lanky. Even I wish I had an example. He drew Peter Parker, and Peter Parker looked kind of geeky, kind of, you know, he wasn't the most handsome character in the comic, and that's what they were going for. It was perfect for Spider-Man. That's why, you know, kids picked up Spider-Man and thought, hey, I could be that kid. You know, he looks like an average anybody. And like I said, I wish I had an example of Ditko's art from Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I don't. But these, nonetheless, I think are pretty good examples of Ditko's art. There are much better, though. Another favorite artist, a little more modern artist. Again, this cover here, Mike Mignola. Just a great artist. Most famous for Hellboy. He had a good run on some Batman. I believe he did cover the death of Jason Todd. Just a great artist. Very different than most other artists, and I think that's what draws me to it. I like things that are kind of unique feeling. That is also why I'm a big fan of Mike Allred, another favorite artist. His work is not for everyone. It's very quirky, very popish. It's very pop art kind of style, incorporated into a comic style, and I think it's very retro. It's reminiscent of older artists, but it's very unique as well. As you can see, of course, also, like, you know, the standards. Jim Lee, George Perez is another favorite. I think he is easy top 5 of all time. George Perez. I only have a few examples of his, and unfortunately I didn't have time to find those. They're in the back. Frank Miller himself, not just one of my favorite writers, one of my favorite artists. His style is so much different than everybody else's. It is a little weird at times, but very, very good, and like I said, very unique. I think I'll do it. Characters, covers, writers, and artists. Yeah, I could go on and on and on. Like I said, I'm one of those people, I cannot pick a #1 favorite in almost anything. It's very hard for me to do that, because I can always look at another example that I like, a different person's art, or a different character, and explain why I like that as well, or just as much. You know, but I think that's pretty good example of some of my favorites, ones that I look for when I go to the flea market. Look for these names. So, and once again, congratulations, Comic Hoarder. Well deserved, 200 plus subs. You'll be at 400 or 500 before you know it. So everybody who hasn't tuned in to Comic Hoarder, please do so. Great channel, great videos, and again, appreciate the contest. Congratulations, everyone out there. Have a happy new year, and catch you again. Till then, take care.